Thanks for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to address directly one of the viewers of this channel who sent a message and asked for some advice. So I'd like to share some life advice with you today. Brian, last week, your father passed away. And this is something that we all have to deal with at some point in our lives. We all have to deal with grief and loss, and we have to learn to process that each in our own way. We're all different people, and people that will try to share advice with you and tell you the answer to everything, maybe they're just trying to help, but they may not understand that we all process grief and death and loss in our own ways. We're all very different people, but something that we all have in common is that we are all human. We all feel. And to lose a loved one, you're going to feel the most painful thing you've ever felt in your whole life. And it is especially difficult when you've had to watch that loved one suffer, to lose who they have been, to lose their identity, what makes them who they are, and you have to watch that. And there's nothing in the world that will make you feel more angry or more powerless than having to watch a loved one suffer, then die. You've reached a checkpoint in your life. At this point, you are going to see so much change with your family and with yourself. And when you lose a loved one, whether it's a close friend, a sibling, or a cousin, an aunt or an uncle or a parent, you are faced with a decision. You right now are standing at a crossroad. And when we are faced with the loss of loved ones, we have the choice to either let that death make us worse or make us better. Who will we become as a result of this life change? Will we become angry and bitter? Will we isolate ourselves from other people? Or will we grow to be more compassionate, more understanding of others, to be more patient and tolerant, to be more supportive and understanding of other people? That is what it means to be human. That is what it means to be a man, a real man, and a good man. There's a number of friends that I've lost over the years very close to me. And there were moments in my life where I understood I had a choice. And I could either become a worse person as a result of that loss, or I could choose to become better, to become stronger. So, Brian, it's up to you whether you choose to let this be an opportunity for you to learn more about the world, to understand people more, and to become stronger, and to be someone that your father will continue to be proud of. A close friend that I lost back in 2016, it took me a long time to process that, and sometimes I think of him, and sometimes it is difficult. You know, we will move forward in our lives. We will find a way to move forward, and it's up to you to find a way to move forward. But there will be some nights that, for some reason, are just more difficult than other nights. You will be sitting up late, and you will just remember. You'll remember. And that can be very difficult. And in those times, just find a way to remember the good times, to think of the good times. When I'm having a tough time and I think of my friend, I drink out of his coffee mug. This used to be his. And I think of all the great conversations we had, the road trips and adventures we went on, the music that we listened to, the things that he taught me. And it inspires me to keep living my life, to make the most of my life, to do the absolute best, to do the most with my life that I possibly can. For the next few months, it's going to be especially difficult. You're going to feel isolated, you are probably going to wonder what really has any actual meaning or value, and you will probably reach points where you feel like nothing really has any meaning, nothing has any value. And because this is a new checkpoint that you've reached in your life, a new threshold, you now have to decide, you now have to determine what really has meaning, what really matters. And these are points in our lives where we sort of start leaving behind things that seemed like they were important to us in the past, but then we realize what really isn't important and what really is once we start losing people, once we start watching loved ones suffer. The best thing you can do to honor your father's memory, to take the opportunity to continue growing and to be a better person, is to live your life as best as you possibly can, to do as much as you can with your life, to be the best that you can be. And just find some positive way to remember the good times with him. The music that you listen to, the trips that you went on, the adventures, the stories you have to tell, the good feelings that you have, those are what you have to hold on to. Because anything else doesn't really mean anything. Any souvenir, any physical thing that is nice and it helps you remember, but what really matters is what you have inside. And who you are now, who you have become, is a result of the hard work and the sacrifices that your father has done for you. And you can appreciate that. And if you really feel so strongly that you loved him, that he did the best for you, then that can be a source of inspiration for you to be a source of strength and positivity for other people as well moving forward in your life. It's a big deal when men lose the men that they look up to, the men that we viewed as the leaders, as the ones who took care of things in our lives. They will be gone one day. And we will have to take their place, and we will have to lead, and we will have to take care of others. But there will still be quiet moments in your life where you'll sit down alone at night and it'll be late and it will be tough. And in those moments, you just got to hang in there, ride the wave, and keep treading water. Because the way that life works, sometimes a rogue wave will just pull you out to sea. And all you can do is keep treading water. Well, you got to keep treading water. You never know if you're going to make it back to shore, but you've got to try. Some people have a really tough time with loss, and the way that they cope is turning to drugs and alcohol and things like that. And you've just got to find a way to make it through to the next day right now and make sure that you aren't doing more harm than good to yourself. Do what you can to make it through to the next day. Find some way to stay positive, and you just hang in there, man. I wish you all the best. Take care, Brian. See ya.